Want to welcome the on-site participants who are joining us here at Hotel Crown Imperial, Ravi Bhawan, and the participants joining us from across the country, across the world, virtually through Zoom and Facebook Live. We are currently live through 5 Facebook channels: UKaid Skills, Label Step, Nepal Carpet Exporters Association, Nepal USA Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Nepalese Young Entrepreneurs Forum. Today's event celebrates the success model for skilled artisans, expanded jobs, and sustainability of Nepali carpet industry. I'm very happy to let you know that we will be unveiling a virtual rug gallery today, which will bring Sarlahi's Artisan Village produced carpet closer to the global market. After the launch, we will continue our program with an on-site exhibition of carpets at the hotel lobby here at Hotel Crown Imperial, which will continue throughout the day tomorrow on 9th October, Saturday. Having shared this and given the time limitation, I would like to start the program right away. Without further ado, I would like to call upon Ms. Prasunna Sakha, Country Representative for Label Step, to forward the welcome remarks and present an overview of this event.
Namaste all. Honorable Acting Secretary Mr. Tundaraj Ghimire, Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security, Mr. Nathaniel Bevan, Development Director of British Embassy, Mr. Baljeet Bohra, Team Leader, UKaid Skills for Employment Program, respected dignitaries, guests, industry stakeholders, all virtual participants who have been observing today's event from within and outside the country. A very good afternoon and warm welcome to all. We are delighted and honored by your presence in today's event to commemorate the achievements of Artisan Village project developed and implemented by Label Step and a selected consortium partners with active support and co-investment of UKaid Skills for Employment program. The initiative, we believe, has set in motion the decentralization of carpet manufacturing process, as well as set a foundation to creating a healthy and sustainable carpet industry in Nepal. You all must be wondering how this project came to be. So let me take you back in time. Having spent 9 years of my career at UN Migration Agency, I was passionate about working for migrants and on implementing projects for migrant returnees. However, this has been very challenging. In 2017, I joined STEP due to my newfound interest in trade and development. This is when I came across Nepal's world-renowned luxury handmade carpet industry centralized in Kathmandu and was amazed by our skillful weavers as well as volume of carpet exports equivalent to several millions of US dollars from Nepal. I had high hopes for sustainable employment of prospective migrants and returnees, particularly women within this industry. However, this required some concerted efforts on industry's improvement for the welfare of weavers and workers. At this point, we felt need to do something for the industry's sustainability and its workers, especially given its recognition potential opportunities in the global market. We at Label Step carried out a research on Nepali weavers' profile and found out that most of the weavers originated from Sarlahi. And through the decentralization of industry, and the decentralization of industry would make most sense instead of making hundreds of people travel from villages to work in Kathmandu. To understand the situation better and the state of carpet industry better, we sought expertise of various industry stakeholders such as Rainer Jedinat, the International Quality Controller, the colleagues from Alternative Technology, our consortium partners for NP Rugs, Vijay Lakshmi organizations, and Aarti Galaicha, including weavers organizations, weavers partners in Sarlahi village, and received favorable support. And the Artisan Village concept was proposed to UKaid Skills for Employment program, which received very favorable support. I'd like to sincerely thank Mr. Baljeet Bohra, the team leader of UKaid Skills for Employment program, and Stuti Basnit, deputy leader of UKaid Skills for Employment program, for making this program happen. Also, I'd like to sincerely thank Mr. Reto Aswandan, Managing Director of Label Step in Switzerland, for his continued support and guidance. Although it's a culmination of a piloting phase, we are proud to say that Artisan Village project has finally taken its step towards meeting its goal. However, we still have a very long way to go. So we would appreciate a favorable support of all industry well-wishers. Today's event will shed light on projects, innovation and promising practices, bringing in new perspective to skilling and employment, with a key focus on JESI mainstreaming, empowerment, decent work and dignity of labor, and present the future outlook of sustainable handmade carpet industry of Nepal. Ladies and gentlemen, we've adopted a new exciting way of presenting this to you in a blended form of slide and video presentations. Furthermore, we hope that you are excited to uncover the virtual exhibition platform that we believe is a convenient, affordable, and innovative means, particularly for Nepal, in the post-pandemic period to promote Artisan Villages rug in the national and international markets. This will be followed by remarks and commentaries from our guests and speakers. With this note, I'd like to end my welcome remark and once again express my gratitude to all on behalf of UKaid Skills for Employment Program and STEP, to all of you for attending this event. Thank you.
We have the team leader of UKaid SIP, Mr. Baljit Vora. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to first acknowledge the presence of the Acting Secretary of the Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security, Mr. Dundaraj Gimre. Thanks for being here, and a special thanks to the Secretary who made your time available this afternoon. I also would like to acknowledge the presence of Nathaniel Bevan, who is the Director of Development at the British Embassy. Thanks, Nathaniel, for attending this virtually. I also would like to thank our Chief Attorney of the Province Number 2, who's also joined us. Thank you so much, Mr. Dipender Jha, for joining us amidst your busy schedule. I also would like to take the opportunity of thanking our partner, Rito, from Switzerland, who is attending virtually, as well as our friends from Canada, Michael Clark Christie, who also will be presenting from Canada about his experiences with Nepal. It's indeed a pleasure. I know that I just wanted to render a special welcome to you all because we are nearing the festive season. It is the festive season, and the sign and Tihar is upon us. The coming days embody a greater sense of togetherness and also allow us to celebrate our successes made possible through the perseverance and the hard work of each one of us in our own spheres of life. Thank you for taking some time away to be part of this occasion. Today's event accords us the opportunity to showcase one of our 13 partnerships at UKaid Skills for Employment program, where we have worked closely along with the private sector, the federal government, the provincial government, and the local governments that can make enterprise development partnerships successful, especially driven around skilling initiatives that can transform processes, products, and open up new markets, and our opportunities through systems change and market-led innovation. UKaid Skills for Employment program is part of a joint collaborative effort between the Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security and the British government, has brokered 13 partnerships to propel growth in selected priority sectors, which constitute commercial agriculture, light manufacturing, tourism, ICT, and construction, primarily in Provinces 2 and Provinces 5, Lumbini Province. And that has happened through expanded access to quality skilling, which has been linked to gainful employment and self-employment and migration optimization. These 13 Nepali partnerships, or private partnerships with the private sector, have allowed our partners in the private sector to make commitments of upwards of 8 million GBP pounds towards this partnership from their own money, and to achieve the project goals, which has the potential to equip and empower over 20,000 youth at this given point of time. As of today, we have trained over 9,000 youth, of whom 3,000 have been women, and 6,000 belong to disadvantaged groups. Over 6,500 have found productive employment and self-employment. The program is also able to cover over 11,000 Nepali migrants and migrant households to increase their remittance income, savings or investments, of whom 2,850 are women. As of this month, a total of 18,000 plus have benefited from the program activities in increasing their income or savings. Furthermore, the program has also worked on improving identified market constraints to bring about systematic change in the Nepali labor market ecosystem, including co-location of training infrastructure in underserved geographies of Province 2 and Lumbini Province, and that's why we are showcasing Sarlahi this afternoon, which has eased access to students from disadvantaged groups as well to training opportunities, and also has led to employment as well as standardization of curriculum in the construction, line manufacturing, and ICT industries. And we are also proud of the fact that we've opened up new job roles for women for the first time in several of the industries that we're working on. And now to our partnership today. I want to thank especially FCDO. Thank you, Nathaniel. Thank you, Rob, who leads our project. Province 2 government, thank you so much, Dipendra Jha, for being here. STEP, and the 6 local carpet manufacturers that have taken carpet weaving away from Kathmandu to the lovely region of Sarlahi, the home of so many of the enthusiastic and line weavers and fine weavers who had no other option but to leave their homes for employment to the capital earlier. The videos that you will see captured today, they capture the innovation and the impact that are unfolding from this enterprise-driven partnership with diverse carpet industry sectors, both national and international. This partnership has set in motion decentralization of Nepal's carpet industry from Kathmandu to Sarlahi to support and strengthen availability of skilled and productive weavers for sustainability and growth of the artisans and entrepreneurs following fair trade practices associated with the sector. Hand-woven carpets are now an important export product, and we are proud to be helping develop and promote an industry that is not only just going to generate jobs in the future, but also will generate hard-earned foreign exchange earnings that this country needs in the next 2 to 3 years. I'd like to now thank everybody for being here, and I'd like to open this thing up by showing you a small video of how UKaid Skills for Employment program, working with STEP, is really helping bringing change. Thank you so much.
Nepal is one of the world's leaders in the production of handmade carpets for the international luxury market. The Nepali carpet industry is centered in Kathmandu. Majority of the weavers come to work here from remote and rural areas of Nepal. It is so because in large parts of Nepal, outside Kathmandu, unemployment is a huge problem. As a result, many young people leave the country as migrant workers, often taking dangerous jobs in Southeast Asia or the Gulf countries. A UK-funded program named Skills for Employment provides skill development trainings and creates domestic jobs. Within the scope of this program, and in collaboration with the carpet industry, STEP is working toward the setup of artisan villages in rural areas. One of the first and most important steps of this project is the training of master weavers. The training of trainers will ensure that international quality standards are met at the artisan villages.
जन्म नै एक कार्पेटमै भएको भएर सायद यससँग एट्याचमेन्ट नै मेरो धेरै छ। मेन त हाम्रो अहिलेको फोकस भनेको वुमन इम्पावरमेन्ट हो नि त। जस्तो पहिला हामीले अब उत्पादन कसरी गर्ने, प्रोडक्ट कसरी गर्ने, कति धेरै गर्ने मात्र हाम्रो दिमागमा थियो, तर होइन रहेछ। हामीले प्रोडक्सन मात्र हेरेर हुँदैन रहेछ, यसलाई एउटा क्वालिटी पनि धेरै इम्प्रुभ गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ।
अहिले चाहिँ 5 जना वास्तविकहरुलाई चाहिँ म चाहिँ एउटा तान कसरी लाउने र 10 सेन्टिमा कति हुन्छ यो सेन्टिमिटरको त्यसमा उहाँहरुलाई चाहिँ ट्रेनिङ दिइराखेको। जस्तै कि अहिले जुन महिला दिदीबहिनी विदेशी नपरोस् भनेर कामलाई निरन्तर होस् भनेर चाहिँ अहिले सुरुवात गर्न लागेछ।
कार्पेट क्षेत्रमा छिर्नु चाहिँ मेरो बाध्यता थियो। श्रीमान बिरामी हुनुभयो, प्यारालाइज, त्यही भएर मैले छोरी पढाउन नसक्ने अवस्था भएर श्रीमानलाई कमाएर खुवाउन नसक्ने अवस्था भएर यो कार्पेट क्षेत्रमा छिरेर चाहिँ मैले के गर्न सक्छु कि भनेर यो कार्पेट क्षेत्रमा छिरेको हो। यहाँ आएर चाहिँ 11 दिनको तालिममा गलैँचाको हिसाब भनेको के हो, गलैँचाको फर्मुला कसरी निकालिन्छ, म आफैले गलैँचा बुन्दा पनि 4 जनाले बुन्यो भने 50 सेन्टि बुन्दा मेरो भागमा कति पर्छ त्यो पनि मलाई थाहा थिएन। यो कुराहरू सिकेँ।
मैले 11 दिनको तालिममा चाहिँ मैले यो झिन्दुहरू कन्ट्रोल गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ, यो क्वालिटी चाहिँ राम्रो निकाल्नलाई सफा गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ, अनि यो धागो राख्ने ठाउँ सफा हुनुपर्ने रहेछ। मैले चाहिँ यहाँबाट गएर चाहिँ मैले यहाँ सिकेको ट्रेनिङ चाहिँ उता गाउँमा गएर दिदीबहिनीहरूलाई सिकाउँछु र दिदीबहिनीहरूलाई नि रोजगार पाइन्छ, मैले पनि रोजगार पाएँ र दिदीबहिनीहरूलाई पनि अगाडि बढाउन सिकाउँछु र अनि यो गलैँचाको गुणस्तर चाहिँ अगाडि बढाउन चाहन्छु।
In my experience, the last 29 years, we didn't have any like this project in Nepal. But this is very important to upgrade the skill and the quality of a product like carpets. Therefore, the project is very essential and very benefiting in this difficult situation the carpet industry is, especially the last 5 to 6 years. Due to such a project like we started in Sarlahi, we have the chance to turn this present negative trend around and give some positive impact for the industry and especially for a lot of very limited educated people which have a chance to earn their livelihood in future.
घरमा मेरो आर्थिक स्थिति कमजोरी थियो, मेरो आमाले मात्र कमाएर नपुग्ने भएर अनि म पनि यहाँ काठमाडौँ आएर गलैँचा बुनेको। पहिला मलाई हिसाब किताब गर्न आउँथेन, मलाई लेख्नु पढ्नु पनि आउँदैन। म यो गलैँचा 11 दिनको तालिममा चाहिँ यो गलैँचालाई तान लाउँदाखेरि धुपा लुज टाइट भएको छ कि छैन चेक गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ, गलैँचा फर्किसकेपछि छड्के पाराले नाप्नु पर्ने रहेछ भन्ने कुरा थाहा भयो।
भुइँ चिल्लो बनाउनु पर्दो रहेछ बिम सिधा हुनको लागि, त्यो कुरा जानी गलैँचा तान लाउनु भन्दा अगाडि यो ठक्टीहरू मिलाउनु पर्दो रहेछ बराबर गरेर भने त्यो पनि जानी। अब चाहिँ यो मास्टरी काम पनि सिकेँ। पहिला अलिक कम थियो भने चाहिँ अलिकति अहिले चाहिँ अलिक ज्यादा हुन्छ। मेरो छोराछोरीलाई पनि अहिले त पहिला स्कुल हाल्थेँ भने अहिले बोर्डिङ पनि हाल्न सक्छु नि त। मैले यहाँबाट गएर गाउँमा गएर 20 जना मान्छेलाई म सिकाउँछु र म यो गलैँचा उद्योग बढाउँछु भन्ने चाहिँ आशा राख्छु म।
अनि म चाहिँ पहिला काठमाडौँमा थियो, अनि काठमाडौँबाट चाहिँ अहिले म गाउँमा गएर यो कार्पेटलाई चाहिँ मैले आफैले नै उत्पादन गरिराखेको छु। 5 वर्षपछि चाहिँ मेरो त के लक्ष्य छ भने हैन, अहिले हाम्रो सानो सानो तानहरू छ त्यसलाई चाहिँ ठुलो बनाउने अनि एउटा एक्सपोर्ट गर्ने योजना लक्ष्य चाहिँ छ।
Now I would humbly like to request our chief guest, Acting Joint Secretary to the Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security, Mr. Dundu Raj Khimire, to kindly put in his special remarks.
Respected Nathaniel Bhawan, Development Director, British Embassy, Nepal, distinguished delegates, distinguished participants who are actually in the connection of virtual platform, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I like to express something from the side of the government, where I am now working in the Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security. In this sector, I am very new. Just few days before I came in this ministries, and it is my privilege to be here. I am very much grateful inviting me in this platform where we can learn how the steps successfully moving to enriching the people and enriching the livelihood of the remote areas people, where carpet is the most important field of engagement. Not only here in Kathmandu, but also the remote area of different part of the Nepal, basically concentrating in the province 2, Sarlahi, I think Sarlahi. You are working where most of we observe that the people's creativity and their awareness level is very low. They are living in very poor condition, and when we observe the people who are living in this area, they are living carbon footprint most of these working areas, and in their hometowns also. So we say thanks, very, very, very thanks to you, the government of UK, the people who are engaging here from the side of the government of UK, who are leading this program. We are very much thankful. You are working there as the part of the government of Nepal. You are the partner of our Nepalese government and working in these areas, uplifting the economic condition of the poor people, making awareness of those people who are potential for this work, focusing on awareness building program and making them enable where we can say there is inclusion concept also you are focusing on. So when we observe few decades back, most of the people here also in Kathmandu was engaging in carpet industries. Now we cannot see this kinds of scenario, and now it is almost reduced and almost disappear. Not only this, carpet industries was one of the most important industries in Nepal few decades ago. Carpet and garment also was there. Garment industries also was there. Two big industries were there. But nowadays we cannot see that kinds of scenario. Why? It is only because of the quality, because of quality assurance. Because of quality, because we cannot make the quality carpet here with the mobilization of the child labor, with the mobilization of unskilled labor. So old market observed this scenario, then they had commented to us, if you have same scenario in the future, we are not going to buy this kinds of carpet. So we could not improve this scenario. That's why slowly and slowly the carpet market, worldwide market, have been reduced. Because of this, now we are living very few carpet industries, with very few carpet industries in Nepal who are making good hand weaving carpet here, and it has good market. To make such kinds of scenario, the project like SIP in Nepali SIP, they have good contribution, and the people. Actually, Nepal has been progressing in infrastructure area, but there are some kinds of weaknesses, and we don't have same progress in the social development in Nepal. With such kinds of project, through such kinds of project, we can make good opportunity to social development also. In the area of rural village, there are a lot of people living. Most of the people living in the rural areas. The people, most of the percentage of the people living in these areas. So that we should focus, Nepal, government of Nepal should focus these areas, making their capacity better. Not only the carpet industries is the only means. The end should be social development, skill development, employment generation. More than 50 million people are unemployed per year, every year. But we are not creating enough employment opportunity in Nepal, so that their capacity, the people's capacity enhancing program is very much essential for the development, for overall development of Nepal. In this context, project like SAFES has good role and vital role. They can do everything. We have not only the state program in the Ministry of Labor, Employment, Social Security. We are parallelly many 2, 3 and 4 projects at the same time working for skill development, employment creation, social security, social development. The things social development is very important. The awareness creation is very development. Software is very important. Hardware development is nothing. We can observe new buildings, departmental stores, and shopping mall, lot of hotels, bar, restaurants here in Kathmandu as well as in the countryside also. But the ratio of development, social development, is not like the same ratio which is infrastructure development. So that we should focus social development, employment generation, skill development, quality production. Life should be quality. Qualitative life has getting everything, reaching everything, and they have good force for the overall development of the country. So, to make such scenario, step projects have been doing great job. For that, I thanks to this project, the government of UK and all the partners, 30 partners, yeah? More than 30 partners are here, including Nepal government, provincial government, and association of different kinds of industries. First of all, I should say the partners organization that you should learn from the steps. We should learn from the steps, because what kinds of lagging we have for the development, for the economic generation, for the expansion of the market. The growing of the market only depends on the quality of the production. why we are not getting good access of every kinds of goods which we are producing. What are the situation now? We can observe so that we can learn lot of information, lot of things from these kinds of projects. Step size started launching an exhibition program as a side events of this event. So I thanks and express my successful this program successful. I wish to success to this program, and again I express my support, our government support. Whenever I will be here personally, and the government has good intention to support such kinds of program, there is no doubt. Our secretary, our respected secretary, I am only officiating secretary. Sorry, our MC said that acting secretary. No, I am not acting secretary. I am officiating secretary only. Our secretary now, our full-fledged secretary is not now here in Kathmandu. We are entering in the Dasai season, great festival of the Hindus. In this contest, he is in his hometown. That's why on his absent, I came here, and you have provided to me to few time to express to you. Sorry, I took long time. Sorry for that. But anyway, this is good situation. You are creating. You are what you have. The aim is very, very fair and good faith you have with this project. That's why I feel that you have good intention with the project. That's why you can launch this program freely. We are providing good situation, good facilitation, good environment whenever we are here, and government is very supportive to you. If you have any obstacles, then we can sit together, we can eliminate such a problem immediately. But the problem, the political problem we have here, I am going to leave immediately in this session and in this room, because today is our government cabinet expansion is going to now today, and our minister will come near future today, and I should go there to welcome to him, and that's why I am living here. Sorry for that. I am very much wanted to be here with you until this program finished, but I could not. It is not possible. That's why sorry for that. Thanks once again providing me this chance. Sorry. Thank you.
I apologize for a mix-up earlier. Mr. Kimire serves as the officiating secretary at Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security. Thank you again, sir, for joining us this event. Next up, we have a managing director of Label Step, Mr. Reto Ashwanden, who will be joining us virtually from Label Step's head office in Switzerland.
Thank you, and hello, everybody. I wish I could be with you today, and I hope to see you all very soon in Kathmandu. I'm honored and delighted to speak about the Artisan Village project. And before I do so, I want to take the opportunity to thank all our partners in this project. So that's the FCDO, UKaid, and its wonderful Skills for Employment program, but also our partners at the government, and most of all, obviously, our partners, our long time partners in the carpet industry. I also want to thank very specifically the STEP Nepal team, who I believe are all doing a great job in this project. So I'm the managing director, and instead of being video, I'm sitting here in my home office in Switzerland. Just a few short words about STEP. STEP is the non-profit fair trade organization, which was founded in 1995 in Switzerland. We are working in all major carpet producing countries, including Nepal, where we have had an office since 25 years now, exactly. Our commitment is to the well-being of weavers and workers in the handmade carpet industry. We promote fair trade and eco-friendly production, and we work for the empowerment of weavers and workers and the overall sustainability of the industry. Please allow me to have together with you a very brief look at the history of the carpet industry in Nepal, because I believe it is important to have a bit of context here. This industry in Nepal has started as a small development project in the year 1960. It started with only 60 weavers, and the first carpet workshop that opened in, or the first showroom linked to that initial workshop opened in Kathmandu in 1961, in March, I believe, and it generated monthly sales of $8,000. So that's roughly $100,000 annual turnover. The picture you see here on the right is of the opening of said showroom, and you see on the right then King Mahendra, and next to him Mr. Tony Hagen, a Swiss geologist and development expert, who was kind of the driving force behind the setup of these initial carpet workshops in Nepal, which, as I mentioned before, were actually a development project. It was about generating income and providing jobs to the Tibetan refugees who arrived in Nepal shortly before. So what started as a small refugee project has actually become an industry that earned Nepal, by the end of the 20th century, annual exports in the value of $150 million. So I do believe that this is a prime example for hugely successful development cooperation. If we look at the carpet industry today, it is one of the most important export industries of Nepal, and it's a super important employer for tens of thousands of people. In the last 20 years alone, the carpet exports handmade carpet exports have earned Nepal more than $1.5 billion US. But it's not only these earnings, but also handmade carpets are a global ambassador for beauty and skills from Nepal. I think this is wonderfully represented by the carpet you see on the screen now. It's called Summit, and it has been made by a US contemporary design company called Wool and Silk Rocks. And it was the winner of Best Modern Design deluxe category of the Carpet Design Awards in 2017. Carpet Design Awards are something like the Academy Awards or the Oscars of the carpet industry, and this is a wonderful example, not only representing the quality of Nepali carpet weaving, but as you probably see in the design, it also draws inspiration from the landscape and the majestic mountains in Nepal as a creative inspiration. However, not everything is great today in Nepal's carpet industry, and also success stories require constant attention and adaptation to new realities. Over the last years, we have constantly heard from industry partners and witnessed it ourselves that it's getting increasingly difficult to produce carpets in Kathmandu. And it's increasingly challenging due to several reasons. The booming real estate market, creating pressure on the production facilities, and labor shortage being another one. That actually led us to the idea of setting up artisan villages in rural areas. And I think it's important to say that the intention is not to replace Kathmandu or to take the carpet industry away from Kathmandu. In the country, we believe that Kathmandu will always be probably not only the business card, but also a creative hub for the industry. But adding additional production locations will make the carpet industry in Nepal more resilient and more sustainable. And hence, we truly believe that this project has the potential to revitalize the industry and be another milestone, a little bit like the initial setup of the carpet industry back in the early 1960s. As our role model in 1960, we also believe that skills and skill training are essential, and so we put it at the center of our activities. We believe we developed the most thorough and sophisticated training curriculum for carpet weavers in Nepal, and we have used this training program to train almost 25 master weavers and have put them in charge of skilling 466 local weavers. Some of them were newly skilled, some of them were upskilled to meet the requirements of today's international luxury design handmade carpet markets. Equally important for us was to create the best possible working environment for those weavers. Because if you want to make the highest quality handmade carpets, you need the best possible working conditions, and you need a motivated and inspired workforce. So all 7 newly established workshops comply with label steps, industry-leading fair trade standards. When it comes, you see one of the workshops on the picture. They are exemplary and best case practices when it comes to safe and healthy at the workplace. They're clean, bright, there's air and space, and they provide an overall friendly working environment. Beyond that, they also provide facilities for the young weavers' children, providing child daycare centers for these weavers. We also, besides the vocational skill training, provided other capacity building programs, including financial literacy courses for the weavers of those 7 weaving centers. Again, very much like our pioneers back in the 60s, we believe that any project that wants to be successful in the long term in the area of livelihood and income generation must be closely linked to the market. And that's why we embrace high tech, and we bring together today's technology with the ancient craft of carpet weaving. The new technologies do not only enable the management of a remote or decentralized supply chain, it also allows us to integrate the artisan villages in international markets. And we will see some of the exciting features and possibilities of the new technologies later on in today's program. But what I want to mention here is that this was made possible mainly through the excellent collaboration with another key partner in Nepal, the company Alternative Technology, which is the leading tech provider for today's contemporary handmade carpet industry. And it's based in Kathmandu. I would like to thank all of you for your attention and for being with us today again. And I would like to take you on a brief tour of Sarlahi and the Artisan Villages in another short video. But before that, I also want to kindly invite you to visit the on-site carpet exhibition that you will have access to later on today, because, you know, despite all the new and exciting possibilities given by modern technology, carpets remain an emotional and sensual product, and, you know, nothing beats seeing them with your own eyes and touching them with your own hands. So I would kindly ask the MC to launch the video from Artisan Villages, please.
दुई 2061 सालदेखि म यो गलैँचा पेसामा लागेको हो। यहाँ चाहिँ मेरो अब बुनाइको काम हुन्छ। कच्चा धागो लियो अनि गलैँचा उत्पादन गर्यो। काम गर्ने समय 27-28 जना हुनुहुन्छ। कुनै सर्लाहीको छन्, कुनै सिन्धुपाल्चोकको छन्, कुनै पालुङतिरको। रोजगारीकै सिलसिलामा उहाँहरू आउनु भयो हैन। पहिलाको अवस्थामा अब गलैँचा धेरै नाजुकै छ। बुनकरहरू धेरै भयो भने त्यही अनुसारको अब प्रोडक्सन धेरै हुन्छ, कुनैमा अब प्रोडक्सन हुँदैन।
उहाँहरूले काम गर्ने कार्यस्थलमा दुई लाइनमा बस्ने मजदुरहरू हुन्छ। उहाँहरू बिचमा चाहिँ करिब करिब 5-7 फिटको दूरी भएको हुनुपर्छ, ताकि केही आपतकालीन अवस्था आएको बेलामा उहाँहरूलाई बाहिर निस्कन सजिलो होस्। यहाँ चाहिँ प्रशस्त हावा आवत जावत गर्ने ठाउँ भएको हुनुपर्छ। बिजुलीको व्यवस्था, गर्मी भयो भने पङ्खाको व्यवस्था, त्यो हाम्रो लेभल स्टेपको 10वटा मापदण्डभित्रै पर्ने कुरा हो।
यहाँ शीतलमा काम गर्नु पाइयो, शनिबार पनि छुट्टी हुने भयो हैन, राम्रै छ। त्यहाँ 12 साल बसे पन्जाब, अनि यहाँको अहिले 3 वर्ष भयो फेरि 12 वर्षमा बसेर पन्जा पनि 12 घण्टा घाममा खट्नु पर्थ्यो हामी बाहिर अब काठमाडौँमा बुनेको थियौँ मान्छेको तलमा बुन्थ्यौँ अनि यहाँ कारखाना खोल्यो कारखाना खोलेपछि हामी यहाँ आएर बुन्यौँ सुई बुन्नु पायो भने त आम्दानी छ गलैँचामा 2-4 पैसा आउँछ बुढालाई टिफिन खर्च त हुन्छ भनेर अनि बुन्नु थालेको बुन्नु त अब गाह्रै छ बुट्टाहरू बुन्नुपर्छ दिमाग लाउनुपर्छ यस्तो हालले कोर्नु चाहिँ हामीलाई आउँदैन नक्सा कस्तो दिए पनि हामी सक्छौँ अब जस्तो अब मान्छे नै बनाएर नक्सा ल्याउँछ नि हामी त्यो चाहिँ बुन्नु सक्छौँ कलाई त हो नि है
पहिला अब म लेबलाइन गएँ लेबलाइनमा मलाई साह्रै गाह्रो लाग्यो अब 6 वर्ष मैले यताउता गरेर बिताएँ जुन म विदेशमा बसेर चाहिँ म खट्नु पर्थ्यो 24 घण्टा त्यही दुःख सम्झेर चाहिँ म नेपालमा बसेर चाहिँ म मिहिनेत गर्छु भन्ने मेरो एउटा मन भयो है महिनामा 5000 होस् म त्यसमै टार्छु भनेर चाहिँ म सरलाहीमा आएर म दुःख गर्यो त्यसपछि फेरि म गलैँचा बुन्नु थालेँ है 4 बजे उठ्छु अनि त्यसपछि पहिला चाहिँ म यो गलैँचा बुन्नु थाल्छु खाना बनाउने हुन्छ 9:30 बजे छोरा स्कुल पठाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ अब छोरालाई स्कुल पठाएपछि अब म काममा लाग्छु फेरि पनि यो लिभलिस्टको हामी संस्थामा जुन अब यो अनुग्रह कारखानामा म जान्छु जुन आफूले जानेको कामले चाहिँ आफूलाई घरसम्म खोज्नु आएको छ भने त्यो कामलाई म किन छोड्ने होइन गलैँचा भनेको एउटा उद्देश्य हो होइन अब आफ्नो हातको कला हो होइन
गलैँचा बुन्ने कार्यलाई अलिकता अर्गनाइज किसिमले रेकर्ड राख्नको लागि विवर म्यानेजमेन्ट एप बनाएका छौँ त्यसमा चाहिँ एक दिनमा यो कुनै एउटा गलैँचामा कति बुन्यो त त्यो गलैँचामा कटाइ कस्तो रह्यो बुनाइ कस्तो रह्यो त्यो दैनिक रेकर्ड हुन्छ बुन्दै जाँदाखेरि कम्प्लिट भयो भने कम्प्लिट भइसकेपछि फेरि एकचोटि सबै समग्र मूल्याङ्कन हुन्छ अनि त्यसपछि ठिक छ यो भनेर सबैले सही गरेपछि बल्ल त्यो चाहिँ कम्प्लिट भएको भनेर बुझिन्छ
बच्चा भयो अनि बच्चा भइसकेपछि यतिकै बसिरहेको थिएँ अनि फेरि यो ग्राफिक डिजाइनको ट्रेनिङ आएको छ भन्ने कुरा आएपछि अनि म यसमा सिक्न थालेँ हाम्रो आफ्नै कारखाना छ अनि त्यो कारखानामा पनि अब डिजाइनरहरू छैन अहिले डिजाइनरहरूको धेरै अब मागहरू पनि भइरहेछ आवश्यक पनि छ नि त अनि त्यही भएर अनि आफ्नो उत्पादन आफ्नै उसमा कारखानामा पनि आफै ग्राफिक गरेर आफै उत्पादन गर्न सक्यो भने धेरै राम्रो हुन्छ भनेर चाहिँ सिक्न थालेको
मास्टरमा बसेदेखि चाहिँ तालिममा आउनेहरूलाई चाहिँ तान लाउनेदेखिको लिएर त्यो नेखापले गर्ने सबै आफूले कति उहाँ गएर आफूले सिकेर आएको छु र त्यो चाहिँ म उहाँलाई सिकाउँदैछु अहिले चाहिँ बेरोजगार बस्नु र रोजगारीमा बस्नु धेरै
फरक छ यो आफूले सिकेर चाहिँ एकदमै आफूलाई फाइदा हुने कुरा हो सबैजना चाहिँ त्यही चाहन्छ
For now, I would like to request a Development Director for British Embassy, Nepal, Mr. Nathaniel Bevan, to give his special remarks.
Thank you so much, and namaste everybody. I'm sorry I can't be there in person. I'm joining from the UK. Despite my background, these are not UK mountains, and we'll be back in Nepal soon, but I didn't want to miss this event, so I'm glad to be able to join you virtually. Thank you very much for the remarks already from the officiating secretary and from Reto and Baljit. Hello also to Attorney General Dipendra Jar. It's nice to see you on the call. I'm really pleased to see how well this partnership with Label Step is flourishing. I was lucky enough to be able to get out into Lumbini province before and see the work of this partnership in the sort of early days, to meet some of the weavers who are working on in the project, and also to see the kind of really proud history of textiles and weaving and carpet manufacture in Nepal. And I think, as Vito said, there's nothing quite like the physical connection with some of that kind of textiles work, meeting the people, seeing the products, being able to touch, feel the kind of the weaving work. There's a lot of really impressive personal skill and effort that goes into making what are really beautiful objects. And the thing I wanted to talk about today, though, is that in reality that's not enough, right? And I think what we're seeing here is how you build the business case for why that kind of beauty and quality matters, and how it drives inclusive growth. So what I think is really important is that it isn't just about reviving an industry in Nepal that has been struggling. This is actually about the value of this is about the growth of Nepal and the growth of Nepal's economy in a way that is inclusive. And that's not just because it's the right thing to do, and not just because it's the fair thing to do. This is about creating a genuinely sustainable jobs in productive sectors that can help Nepal reach middle income status. And the fact that we're able to do that in a sector where women are employed in large numbers is really, really important. It's also really, really important that we're kind of getting out of Kathmandu. So this obviously, as we just said, isn't about kind of pushing business away from Kathmandu, but it's about making sure that it has a more sustainable, equitable basis across the country and is able to create jobs in places where historically unemployment has been higher, and certainly employment outside of the formal sector has been lower. So higher, sorry. So I think that's really, really important for us from the kind of UKaid perspective. But I think it's also really, really important for this idea of inclusive growth, So I think I think the real emphasis here needs to be on the fact that this isn't just about a kind of an industry that we all want to see thrive, but it's about creating growth in the right way for Nepal, because that is what will drive up quality. Having that broader base of making sure that we're being able to include women in the formal sector and that we're able to get jobs outside of Kathmandu is about quality for me, and I think that's a really, really important thing to keep in mind, that this isn't just a kind of a sort of development program where we're doing this because it's the right thing to do. We're doing this because it's a growth project as well, and that we think it's the right thing to do for growth. So I think the question is, how do we do this, right? And I think what's really impressive about this project is a model for how we want to be able to deliver that inclusive growth. So if we accept that it's the right thing to do for development and it's the right thing to do for growth, I think the way that we do this is really, really important, and I think the way the partnership has worked, and I think it's that word that's critical for me, is partnership. So the private sector working with government and working with women who are looking for, who have the skills and are looking for employment. So what I think these partnerships that UKaid and SEEP have developed is that they balance that sort of need for the supply and demand, essentially, for employment of women, young people, whilst addressing some of the key industry and labour market constraints. What we absolutely didn't want to do is just enter into a kind of partnership where we were training people in weaving techniques, kind of in kind of production techniques, but is to actually look at the barriers in this sector and to look at how we can address those, as well as improving skills. So I just wanted to give a massive thank you to the SEEP team, who I think have been able to transform a bit the approach that have been taken in skills programs in the past to move beyond that idea of, okay, well, there's this beautiful industry in Nepal, we should just train more people in it, right? Which I think would have failed and been unsuccessful. And so I think the way, building that partnership with the Province 2 and the Bini government, building the partnership with Label Step, and adding on the kind of skills component to that, for me, has been the element that I think has been a really, really successful. I'm going to stop there, and I'm sad that I'm not going to kind of get to see more of the products and the kind of quality this time, because I need to go off and join another meeting. But I did want to finish, just to kind of reiterate my thanks to the SEEP team, to Stuti Vasner and Baljit particularly, who've kind of really driven the improvements in the program overall and in this specific partnership. A big thanks to government officials who, I think, it's the kind of vision for what matters at the federal and provincial and local levels, what matters to the people that you are trying to support and serve, that has kind of, that sort of driving passion has kind of really come through for me. And I think that it is brilliant. It's exactly the sort of partnerships that UKaid wants to be able to work with. So thank you all very much. I hope you have a good rest of the session, and I look forward to catching up with you all again when I'm back in Kathmandu. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Bevan. followed by the unveiling of our virtual exhibition platform, which will be open to interested buyers from now on. I would like to request Mr. Dipendra Jha, the Chief Attorney for Province 2 Government, to put in his words.
Thank you. Natalie Bevan, Baljit ji, Stuti ji, and all team members of SIF, UKaid, and Fair Step. I'm also thankful for giving me this opportunity to share my experience, basically while working with SIP in Province 2. I have watched all the discussions and even the fair launching of the carpet industry also. And it's really touchy, basically, while because it is based particularly in Sarlahi district and 3 places, as far my knowledge, it's Bagmati, Harion, and Lalbandi. And the important thing is that all the employee that I have seen there, they are all women. So it is a kind of transformation in labor market, in my opinion, as well, because most of industry, they are occupied by male in Province 2. So this is very unique thing, in my opinion, which could be replicated to other places as well. So first of all, I would like to congratulate the whole team for this creative idea to mainstreaming women in labor market particularly. Also, I'm also thankful for having SIP partnership with the Province 2 government, and we have long engagement since almost last 2 years. And in the initial phase, we have collaborated, and we have organized few activities initially, which resulted in a lot of changes in Province 2 basically. But due to the COVID pandemic, we could not complete all our planned activities due to the pandemic situation. But the discussion for skill employment program, which we that was in Icha Hotel in Simra, as far as I remember, and that was an important event for us. Later on, we collaborated in many policies and other discussion program. We launched a lot of like mobile labor event in different places, basically in Birganj, in Janakpur as well, with Word Link and different kind of creative activities that we have started, but we could not continue because of COVID pandemic. So it's good to start, in my opinion, in post-pandemic period. And I think all the activities that we have planned initially, we could start now. And I'm also thankful to Baljit that he returned, and again we have started collaborating on different activities. Basically, last week we had discussion over the youth employment program, which is a big program for Province 2. We are going partnership is recognized in the government rule directives as well, because we have government, SIP, and also we are going to engage the private sector basically. So really this is even the carpet industry program. I think not only in Sarlahi, we could replicate in other areas as well, because there are Tamang, Limbu, and Thar women. They are engaged. Basically, I have watched that their husbands, some have problem in economic situation for education of their kids. So these, I think self-employment type of package could also be introduced in few places through different kind of training program, and also depending on the demand side of the market as well. And we are planning basically to have another skill program, youth employment debate with the different industry again on 30 November is I think that is the planned date that we are going to have joint program with our Ministry of Finance. So let's make that program successful, which could open door for having this type of creative program in other places, in other district in Province 2 as well. So I would like to request SIP, Baljitji, and UKaid also to continue and with the more effective now, because this pandemic has created a lot of unemployment in different places, because as far as you know that Province 2 is the highest supplier of migrant labor to the Gulf country, and Sarlahi district is one of the highest right now. Also, if we look at the 5 least developed district list, Sarlahi, Motari, Dhansa, 3 among 5 are from Province 2. even literacy rate is really low in Sarlahi district. So this program, in my opinion, could open its lesson learning for other district as well, for other province as well. And from the government side, we are looking for the opportunity basically to help us to develop such creative ideas, so that we could introduce such type of program in other areas as well. So it's again fresh start in post-pandemic period. So I would like to congratulate the whole team, and also UKaid particularly. We need support in terms of finance, in terms of idea generating, in terms of creativity. So we are expecting to collaborate with SIP and UKaid in future as well. Thank you very much.
Without wasting much of your time, I would like to request the Vice President of Nepal Carpet Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Mr. Tenzing Sherpa, to come in and put in his remarks.
The country representative of Label Step, Prasunna Sakhaji, the team leader of UKaid SIP, Mr. Baljit Bohraji, Deputy Team Leader of UKaid SIP, Stuti Basnetji, Managing Director of Label Step, Reto Aswander, who is joining by virtual, Brand Ambassador of Nepalese Carpet, Michael A.C. Christie, Development Director of British Embassy in Kathmandu, Nathaniel Bevan, the Chief Attorney of Province 2 Government, Dipendra Jhaji, Secretary, Joint Secretary of Ministry of Labor, who just left the program, and ladies and gentlemen. Actually, on the behalf of Nepal Carpet Manufacturer and Exporter Association, actually it is supposed to be attended by my President, Honorable Mr. Rambahadur Gurung, but due to his busy schedule, he is attending other meetings, so he requested me to attend on the behalf of him. So I'm representing from the Nepal Carpet Manufacturer and Exporter Association. Thank you, this program organizer, for giving us opportunity to say a few words regarding this project. Nepal Carpet would like to congratulate all the stakeholders for successfully completing the training program, carpet training program at Sarlahi district. We believe that such kind of training has to be continued in the future as well, because this training will generate the new labor, new weavers, which is very important for the carpet industry, because as you all know that carpet industry has been facing labor shortage, especially weaver shortage, and this type of training will definitely help to overcome the shortage of the weavers in carpet industries. And on the top of that, it is not only training, but they are bringing the skillful weavers, trained weavers, which is very much helpful to maintain the quality of the carpet and to meet the standard of the fair trade standard. Like the Label Step and joined with the UKaid Skills has come up with this Artisan Village concept, which Carpet Association believes is very interesting project. But it will be only successful if all the department of the carpet industries has to become together at that province, especially in Thorai region. Because, for example, as I'm also as one of the partner of this Artisan Village, so whenever we send the raw materials like woolen yarn to the Artisan Village, that woolen yarn, most of the woolen yarn, hand spun woolen yarns are produced in outside valley, either in the western region of the Nepal or Thorai region, even in Sarlahi district. So that yarn first, they make the yarn by hand spun yarn, and that yarn brings to the Kathmandu for the dyeing purpose, color dyeing purpose. Once the dyeing purpose is completed, and then they again send to the Artisan Village. So that's why the cost of transportation is almost double, and it is also time consuming. So that's why I think especially not if not possible at all at one time, at least the yarn making process and the color dyeing process has to be shifted to the province, to the Artisan Village area, so that the sustainability of the carpet industry in that area will be achieved. As a carpet industries association, we believe that whatever information or whatever project that come up with the either level step or UKaid, if it is betterment for the carpet industry, our carpet association will always support and cooperate for that. From the carpet association, we would like to share that we're also just registered the collective trademark for the carpet in Nepal in the name of Himalayan Nepalese carpet, and we are in the process of registering that collective trademark in the first phase, like USA, UK, and EU. And this process has been going on. Hopefully, within few months period, that registration will be completed, and we'll start labeling the collective trademark as a brand name Himalayan Nepalese carpet to these countries. And hopefully, in future, if requirement is there, then we'll extend our registration in other country as well. And the main objective of the collective trademark is to protect and to promote Nepalese carpet globally, and to make the unique identity of the Nepalese carpet, and most importantly, to maintain the quality of the Nepalese carpet. Last but not the least, wish you all the good luck for the virtual carpet exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sharpa, for the helpful remarks. Next, we have Mr. Michael Christie, a leading American carpet journalist, blogger of The Ruggist, and until recently, the editor of Rug Insider magazine. He was also appointed brand ambassador of handmade Nepali carpets by the Nepal Carpet Manufacturers and Exporters Association in 2018.
Hello, my name is Michael Christie. I'm the Ruggist. I'm also the honorary brand ambassador for handmade Nepali carpets for the Nepal Carpet Manufacturers and Exporters Association. It is my honor to be here speaking with you today. When my friend and colleague Reto Ashwanden, the executive director of Label Step, asked me to speak today, I immediately said yes. Certainly, I was excited to talk about Nepali carpets. I never tire of talking about Nepali carpets. I think that the quality of carpets produced in Nepal today are certainly world-class, and that the industry deserves great praise for adapting to the needs of the decorative industry in the West. And the Nepali carpet industry today is one that is capable of producing pretty much the carpet of one's desire. Westerners can bring a design, and Nepali manufacturers have the savoir-faire, the skills, the access to materials and resources to take that carpet from idea to beautifully realized creation. So in that regard, I think the Nepali carpet industry deserves the utmost praise. I was, of course, also excited to talk to you about the future of weaving. I think the future of weaving is in a great state of flux. I think the pandemic is only making that change more apparent and making it occur at a faster pace. Myself, having been stuck at home over the last year and not traveling, I've had a lot of time to think about the ways that I want my life to be different, and how the work I'm doing needs to fit my lifestyle more, as opposed to simply just, punching a clock and doing the daily grind. And I think in that regard, the pandemic has offered a lot of reflection to many people. And but likewise, it's not given that opportunity to people such as weavers who work for daily wages. And so that brings me then to the Artisan Village project that was a partnership between Label Step and UKaid. The goal of the project was simple. It was to demonstrate the feasibility of setting up a manufactory in a rural village that could make the same caliber of carpets that are made in Kathmandu. I think it's been very successful in that regard, and I think we have proven that that exists, that we can make the same quality of carpet in a village just as we can in Kathmandu. But then that brings me back to quality of life. I think most manufacturers are aware of the difficulties of finding and attracting weavers in the city. So I wonder if there is a lot of opportunity to find and attract weavers in their home villages. Why not make carpet manufacturing a rural employment opportunity as opposed to an urban employment opportunity? This is not to say that Kathmandu won't be important in the future. For example, if we look at Turkey and Istanbul, people have long gone to Istanbul to buy and sell and trade in carpets. Most of the carpets, however, were made out in rural villages. So in that regard, I think Kathmandu needs to consider transforming itself from the manufacturing hub to the point of entry, the office, if you will, the headquarters, whereas manufacturing then can move into the rural setting. And like this Artisans Village project demonstrated, I don't think the quality has to suffer in the least. The other component of my love of carpets and working rurally and rethinking lifestyle really comes around to the notion of sustainability. How can we create sustainable products? We have to take into account environmental factors such as the materials, the way the materials are used, the sourcing of the materials, can they be returned to the earth, so on and so forth. But we must also think of sustainability in terms of how can we attract and keep employees and keep weavers employed. So if the industry is having trouble attracting weavers, then clearly something is not appealing about the industry. I myself set out to learn to weave this year, and I've made some small carpet samples myself, to try and understand what the weaver goes through on a daily basis, so that I, as someone who, I write about rugs and tell everyone they look pretty, I wanted to try and understand the perspective of the weaver and how their life might be made better by decisions that people like me and people like carpet manufacturers make. I guess in conclusion then, and I don't want to take any more of your valuable time, I would encourage all of you to look closely at what was learned from the Artisan Village project and to explore ways to change your business in the future, whether that means moving to a rural setting or just changing your structure to be more accommodating to the needs of your employees and to the needs of the environment. We just need to ask these questions, look at the available information, both that we're creating today, but also look to the successes of our past, and find new and creative ways to move forward. I'm very excited about the possibilities of weaving moving into rural Nepal, and I look forward to working with all of you to promote a newly reborn, a newly reinvigorated carpet industry. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you all again soon.
Thank you, Mr. Christie. We are now nearing the end of our event, so I would like to request the Deputy Team Leader of UKaid SIP, Ms. Stuti Basnet, to give her closing remarks.
We've all heard from a really diverse, amazing lineup of speakers today who've shared such rich insights and information on the partnerships, the local partnerships, and the innovations that's unfolding in Sarlahi and what's happening as a result. I think from our speakers, we also got a glimpse of what the future can hold. So I'll keep my remarks really short. I want to start off by thanking all of our speakers and all the guests on site here in the room, but also those who've joined us virtually for today's engagement. Thank you for making time and for joining this celebration of an important milestone in our partnership with Label Step. Thank you is also due to STEP, Label Step and its industry stakeholders, Aarti Galaicha, Kaju Rugs, NP Rugs, Bagmati Udyog, Vijay Lakshmi Udyog, and AT Galaicha. You know, STEP, 2 years ago, STEP came to us with a problem. You know, they knew that there was a deep challenge that threatened the future of the carpet industry. So together with STEP's team, SEEP co-created and co-invested in an industry-led solution that, you know, I believe is setting a strong foundation in rural Sarlahi, ground up. It's showcasing how to deal with the skills, labor, and growth barriers that the industry is facing. I'm very proud of this partnership for a number of different reasons. A lot of the reasons were highlighted by speakers who came before me. I think, you know, among the many multifaceted aspects of this partnership, a partnership that's demand-driven. It's taken a demand-driven approach to how skills and job creation can happen in rural Nepal. Two things that strikes a really strong chord with me is how this partnership has mainstreamed women's economic empowerment. It's essentially taken quality gender intentional services from skilling, certification, jobs, child-friendly infrastructure and working conditions right to the doorsteps of the workers. It's expanded local jobs. It's given these women weavers access to reliable jobs right in their communities. And as a result, the industries now are able to better retain the skilled, productive workers that they need to sustain their production lines. The second thing I think that's really inspiring is I think this partnership is also a great example of how development partners can partner with the government, with industry actors to put federalism into action. You know, our partnership is essentially, you know, I like to, based on what I've seen, I think it is catalyzing decentralization of the carpet manufacturing process. In Sarlahi, there are now 7 workshops that are fully established. It's fully functional, it's teeming with life, it's buzzing with orders. And in fact, if you go down to Sarlahi, I hope, you know, many of you will have the chance to go down to Sarlahi. You know, the local artisans and the local entrepreneurs will also, you know, they'll give you a real sense of what's next. You know, they'll talk about, and they're really keen about bringing what Mr. Sherpa was saying earlier, that, you know, in addition to weaving, it's really important to also bring the other elements of the carpet manufacturing process to rural Nepal. You know, so things like trimming, washing, dyeing, you know, that's also, I feel like, that's the vision that the industry has, and I feel like that's a direction they're already moving towards. So there is, you know, a real sense of optimism among industries and among artisans, and I'm also equally inspired and optimistic about what I think the future holds for the industry based on what I've seen. So just in closing, I want to thank, you know, sincere gratitude again to the British Embassy for their generous contributions. Thank you also to Label Step and to all of its industry partners. Thank you to the event promoters who joined hands with us today. And thank you also to Province 2 government, who's been such a steadfast partner and support for SEEP and our industry partners. And I also want to thank SEEP's team, UKaid SEEP's team, in particular Prasunna Thasaka, who's been instrumental in bringing this partnership to life and to bringing it where it is today. So thank you all, and happy Dasai.
Thank you. We will now be moving to the ground floor lobby to be a part of the on-site rug gallery. For the benefit of all the participants joining us from Nepal today, the exhibition and sales of the carpets woven by artisans from Sarlahi will continue till tomorrow here at Hotel Crown Imperial, Ravi Bhawan, Kathmandu. Please do visit us, and if you are in a festive shopping spirit, don't hesitate to buy a carpet or two. Before closing the virtual event, I would like to give a sneak peek of our on-site exhibition to our virtual audiences. That's the end of our virtual event. Thank you.